Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video, and today we're going to talk about the Model 10A Hunter shotgun and its current position in Battlefield 1's meta, as currently this thing is the undoubted king of shotguns. But is this okay? I already know that there will be a split in opinions, at least to some degree, but we can start a conversation about this weapon and see where it takes us. So let's go through the details as to why this is a topic of discussion, why it's such a dominant weapon at the minute, and whether this is an acceptable position for it to be in. Firstly, this is a relevant video to make as the Model 10A Hunter currently accounts for 60 to 75% of shotgun kills on your average day, according to BattlefieldTracker.com. What's more is that second and third place are occupied by the factory and slug variants of the Model 10A. It's undeniable that there's a distinct lack of variety on show when it comes to shotgun usage. When was the last time you got taken out by a 12G, for example? Obviously a meta will always form in online multiplayer games, and some guns will inevitably be at the top of it and some will be at the bottom of it. So let's not pretend that we're supposed to see an even split in usage numbers, but when one gun has easily over 50% of the kills consistently for a weapon type, at a point when there are 11 shotgun variants to choose from, well, it's something that will raise a few eyebrows. So why is this weapon dominating the kills and usage figures to such an extreme extent? Well, firstly is the often unnoticed influence of culture and reputation. If you see everybody else using one weapon variant, then you're likely to think that it's worth trying it. The same goes for if you're consistently being killed by that variant. But it obviously goes deeper than that too. The major reason that the Model 10A Hunter is used is something that will be wholly obvious to the vast majority of you: range and damage. 90% of the time this weapon hits like a train, and we'll come to why I say 90% a little later on. Yes, there are options for greater range within the shotgun selections, but none of them combine that range with quite the same devastating damage. Essentially, the Model 10A Hunter is selected because of its ability to pick up one-shot kills on a reasonably consistent basis in a range of situations. The other shotgun options just can't. What they do have over the Model 10 is a higher rate of fire. But that comes into the argument with a lot less impact if the Model 10 doesn't need a follow-up shot overly often, and when it does, it's usually quick enough to pick up the kill regardless. This brings us to a point that is solely apparent in console gameplay. Now, for most weapons in an FPS game, a mouse and keyboard will allow for greater accuracy. However, on Battlefield, the aim assist or auto rotation kind of flips this on its head for some weapons. Aim assist is needed on console due to the nature of aiming with sticks. For weapons that need continued fire, this works very well. However, for weapons that have the ability to one-shot kill, there can be an obvious problem if that aim assist is a bit too strong. I covered this in my coverage of the Martini Henry Infantry, which I'll link to in the description if you're interested. The Model 10A Hunter benefits in much the same way, just at much closer distances. You can snap to a target with relative ease, which makes taking people down generally pretty simple. Combine that with the range and damage of the Model 10A Hunter, and you come out with many kills very quickly. This is balanced ever so slightly by the aim assist seemingly screwing up every now and again though. This is where my statement about 90% of the time comes in, as if you've been conditioned to use the aim assist, you'll assume you're aiming at center mass when in fact you might not be, and thus not all of the blasts will hit. Increasing the frequency of this occurrence though wouldn't be a good step to curb the dominance of the Model 10A Hunter though, as it applies to all shotguns and also isn't reliant on the player's skill in any way. It's a false leveler. It's not something that comes down to the player themselves, so it's not something that should really be included in order to alter the effectiveness of a weapon. And currently as things stand, this doesn't happen anywhere near enough to be considered much of a hindrance to the Model 10A. Even through nerfs that the Hunter has endured, it's maintained its position firmly at the top of the shotgun meta. It could be at a point where it isn't possible to realign the shotgun options in an acceptable manner, as it would require intrinsically changing what the Model 10A is and does as a weapon, or making other shotguns too effective. But does it even need changing? Should shotguns have a truly dominant variant? After all, only 4% of kills currently come from shotguns. Perhaps the Model 10A is needed in order for them to compete. Personally, I feel like the Model 10A Hunter does what it's supposed to most of the time. It's just that every now and again I'll pick up a kill on a full health or only slightly weak target, and I think that I was far too far away to be able to do that in this game with other weapons and balances in mind. I wouldn't be against perhaps slowing the rate of fire down by 10% or so, just to punish those times that a one-shot kill isn't possible just slightly more. Maybe some other shotguns need to be made slightly more effective, or maybe this is just how it's going to be and people always gravitate towards a weapon such as the Hunter. Personally, I enjoy a few of the shotguns in Battlefield 1, but what's your opinion? Let me know in the comments section below. If you're unsure about how I went about any of the plays in this video, then I have a how to shotgun video that I'll also link to in the description. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to like, favourite and subscribe. I'm Get Good Guy and I'll see you next time. Latest.